Have you ever wondered how color can change your mood before you even know why? The truth is, color isn't just something we see, it's how we feel. It could be the wall color, the area rug, the color palette you choose doesn't just decorate your home, it speaks to it. Welcome to Design Unscripted. I'm Manuella Moreira, and today we're talking about the power of color. But it's not from a trend perspective. We're diving deeper into the emotional layer of color, the psychology behind the palettes we're drawn to, and how your home's colors might communicate more than you think. We often think of color as a stylistic decision, as a way to make the space pop, feel current, or fit into a certain aesthetic. But color goes far beyond style. Color is biological, emotional, and even spiritual. We're wired to respond to it daily. Red raises the heart rate, where blue lowers it. Green makes us feel restored, and that's not by accident. It's evolutionary. And then there's memory. We all have color associations. Maybe it's that dusty pink that reminds you of a space you remember when growing up, or a particular yellow that takes you back to your childhood kitchen. Those memories, those feelings become part of the story that your home tells. Whether you realize it or not, the right color doesn't just complement the space, it balances it. Let's walk through the emotional spectrum of color and how to use it intentionally. Let's start with whites and creams. These create a sense of purity, clarity, calmness, but when used alone, they can feel sterile. They need texture, warmth, and variation to feel inviting. So when you're designing a space with whites and creams, it's very important to add lots of layers of textures to add contrast and depth. Perhaps it's linen draperies with a thicker wool rug. It could be a velvet sofa with mohair pillows or cashmere throw. Texture will instantly elevate the palette and add contrast and depth. Now let's talk about beige and taupe. They're earthy, grounded, and calm. And no matter what people say, these colors aren't boring. They're foundational. They create visual rest, especially when layered with depth. And blues are known for creating calm, trust, and spatialness. Dusty blue accents can be soothing in a bedroom, whereas a deep navy can be grounding in a library. And greens are restorative, especially sage and olives. They connect us to nature, balance, and growth. Yellow is uplifting and optimistic. It brings warmth and vibrancy, but too much can overstimulate. Use it as a layer through florals, accents, or even art. Reds and rust bring passion, drama, and depth. These tones are emotionally rich, perfect for powder rooms, dining rooms, and even a moody study. Now, blacks and charcoals offer sophistication, stillness, and structure. These deepen a space and add contrast, but they need soft materials nearby to keep them from feeling heavy. Think of adding warmth with the textures in the fabrics or perhaps the wood tones in millwork. Color doesn't have to be bold to be emotional. It could be a whisper of sage, a warm undertone in your beige. These subtleties matter. Now you might be asking, how do I choose a palette that feels right? And this is when I tell you that this is where it gets personal. Instead of starting with trends or Pinterest, start with this one question. How do I want to feel in this room? Do you want your bedroom to feel restful or romantic? Should your kitchen feel energizing or clean and calm? Is your living room a space to just recharge, or is it a space to gather and host? Once you define the mood, then you can layer in the palette. And just a reminder, this is not just for the walls. It could be in textiles, accessories, accents, artwork, books, or even florals. One of my favorite design philosophies is this: the most successful rooms don't have a color scheme. They have a mood. And color is one of the first tools to set it. Choose colors that feel like you on your best day. That's the starting point for a space that supports who you are. Now, your color preferences are shaped more than just style. They're shaped by culture, memory, and personal identity. Have you ever wondered why you're drawn to certain colors? It's rarely random. Our preferences are shaped by experiences, some obvious and some not. It could be the color of your childhood bedroom, a vacation home by the ocean, or that sunset that immediately brings you calm and joy. Preference can also come from culture. In some places, bold and saturated tones are everywhere, on buildings, textiles, and even food. In others, restraint is the language of elegance. Now, neither is right or wrong. It's all about resonance. What feels like home to you, even within a design style like modern or traditional. Color takes a nuance based on context. Let's look at a soft blue, for example. That soft blue in a Parisian apartment will look and feel very different than that same blue in a Malibu beach house. And it's not just the color, it's the story behind it. Again, color isn't just aesthetic. It's emotional, cultural, and deeply personal. Your color palette may be saying more about your roots and your rituals than you think. So before you second guess your love for deep greens, rich blues, or that sun-washed terracotta, ask yourself where that attachment comes from. There might be something beautiful beneath it. As we discussed, color doesn't just stop at paint. It could be the textures throughout the space, like the fabrics in the upholstery, the draperies, the wood tone on the dining table, the artwork on the wall, and even how the light filters in through your space. Use colors in layers. Let things like wood and metals become anchor of the space. Let the draperies and other fabrics add softness and hue, and let things like books, bowls, florals add that subtle contrast. And one thing to always remember, light changes everything. What a creamy color looks like during the day might look boring and flat at night. Always test your colors across different times of the day and even different weather. That color might look great in your kitchen on a bright sunny day, but how does it look when it's cloudy? How does it look at nighttime? So it's very important to test out the colors in many different conditions. Your home is always speaking, whether it's through materials, layout, scent like we discussed in last week's episode. And as we discussed today, it speaks a lot through color. So pause, look around, and ask yourself, how do I feel when I enter this room? And maybe it's, what would I rather it be saying? It's not just about how it looks, but how you feel when you're in the space. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into Design Unscripted. If you're enjoying the episodes, please subscribe, leave us a quick review, share it with a friend. It means the world to me and it helps us grow the show. And whether you're listening or watching, thank you so much for being here. See you next time.